Hey guys, welcome back to Bar Z. My name's Stan, and today we're going to work on tool forming again. This time with a radius. This is again for Mr. I.L. Gopher, and this is going to be kind of an ongoing thing. I've got he sent me a bunch of blanks and all with a different type of grind. This time we're going to do a radius, and this is going to be a lathe tool. Comes in at a neutral angle and creates a form. And what we're doing is a left and a right. This is a rectangular piece of high-speed steel. It's a very nice piece. It's an old Momax Cobalt blank. And I guess these new old stocks are still out there. But anyways, on here he's drawn in Sharpie a couple of radii, and one's a left and one's a right. And it's a 1/2 inch radius, 1 inch slug. So if you look down the barrel of that, and I put the tip of that thing, the corner of the high-speed steel right in the center of that, you can see how much material's got to be removed out of that high-speed steel. So we're removing quite a bit of material. And what we got to do here, this tool is going to look like, let's see, let's draw this. Here and here, and from this point to here is a 1/2 inch, and from this point to here is a 1/2 inch. So that's left and right radius tool. The back relief is kind of interesting on this one because we have to create the cutting relief on the back side. The tool's coming in straight, but we still need to create a relief. If we were to grind straight in with the tool coming straight into the grinder and just rake back at a single angle, we'd end up with our relief underneath looking kind of like this. And we're not offering any relief there. So this is what needs to be created, is the relief needs to follow the radius. So two things have to happen. We have to end up with a 1/2 inch radius as presented to the machine, and we have to end up with that back clearance on a radius. So this is an interesting grind, right? Multiple angles. The tool needs to be ground tipped back and tipped to the side. And we still need to maintain the 1/2 inch. Our radius dresser is going to come in really handy right here, and I'll show you why here in a little while. But let's get the radius dresser over on the plate and get it set up the way we want it, and we'll go from there. So this is going to be good. Okay, well, we got the radius and tangent dresser over here, and we're going to set it for a 1/2 inch radius on the grinding wheel. But I had it at a funky angle and I was doing some other crazy stuff with it. And as an exercise, I'm going to show you how to set it at 0. Right now this thing's way off. I got this thing clocked at a 45 and this thing extended. I was doing some crazy stuff with it. Anyways, we've got it set up at 90. Use the veneer, get it right at 90. And the first thing we're going to do is at least get our diamond in the ballpark. We want to get this basically flat, and we're going to indicate it to get it flat. So now this rotates right on this head, and the other thing we're going to do is we're going to actually loosen our diamond in there, which was very tight, and hopefully it comes out. Now there it is. And we're just going to use that diamond and indicate off of it left, right, left, right, left, right. I'm just barely going to snug it up here. And we're going to get this dead flat, so I get a 0, 0 across here. So pretty simple to do to make sure your diamond is parallel with your machine. And you're looking for your highest number, which that is way too high. And I've got the YouTube lens on it. All right, so we're reading about 3. So we are, we come over here. Whoa, I got pretty close, look at that. Let's snug that up just a little bit. It's only about a half thou off. Pretty good for eyeball. Just gonna give it a little snug just so I can still move it. Wow. About 3.2. .5. God, I don't even want to touch it. All you're looking to do is split the difference. Here's your 3.2. Let's get it there. See if we can get that to come up. All right, there's 3.3. We're playing teeter-totter here. See if we're at 3.3 here. Yeah, that's close enough for the girls I go out with. All right. And then without breathing on it, we're going to take and run, just snug both of these up just slightly. And then check it again. And then run it down and then check it again. All right, so we are at 3.3. Okay, so we're right at parallel with our 90 scale up on the dresser. Okay, we've tightened down, so let's check it one last time. 3.3. 3.3. Okay, good. Next up, we're gonna, and just as an exercise, we're gonna set it back up as 0. We've indexed this to this. This has been clocked to the veneer. We're going to take this around. Pull the pin here. We're going to take it all the way to 180. And lock. And this is a gauge that comes with the tool. You have to know the center line height of your dresser. Mine is 0.400. So it's 400 thousandths to the center line of the dresser. And you just use this as a gauge and bring your diamond in until it touches. You have to be real careful with diamonds. If you let it drop on your granite plate, you're going to chip it. And don't ever let it hit your gauge blocks. It'll really play havoc on your gauge blocks too. Okay, so we're going to hold the dresser firmly to the table, push our diamond into the gauge, and just snug that up. And I'm going to lift the diamond here and get this out. Okay, so that's how you bring that in. And now when we swing around to 0, that diamond is now pivoting directly around the center line of the radius dresser. So there, I mean, it'll pivot around one common point all the way around. So that's how you get it set to 0, 0. Here, I'm going to bring you out to the edge. You have to look around the gauge. Everyone wants to see what's in the chrome drawer. There, that's what's in the chrome drawer. So we're going to grab some gauge blocks here. Now we need to move it where it's actually going to cut a sweep. You know, cut a radius and not just pivot around a common point. So we need to back it away. So the way we're going to do that is we're going to move it on the slider here. I'm going to show you. We've got a dovetail here, and it's got a little lock right here that I can unlock. And then there's a sliding pin right here that slides out, and that allows me to take this whole carrier and push it away. Now this doesn't get moved very often, so it's pretty stiff. And now what we're going to do is we're going to flip at 180 again. Let me move you guys over here. We're going to flip it up 180. And I'll go ahead and lock it at 180. Check your veneer, be accurate with it. So that's 180, right there. Let's see, 60 minutes, line. Okay, we're good. All right, now we're going to take this here and we're going to add a 1/2 inch to the stack. So I'm going to grab a 1/2 inch gauge block. And the big tip of the day is don't ever let that diamond hit your gauge block. I don't know if you can see at the end of that. I'll move it around so hopefully it catches the light. See those little divots in there? That's from people slamming diamonds into it. There's some more there. So if you don't want your gauge blocks to look like that, make sure your gauge blocks are on the bottom. And this is a 1/2 inch gauge. Let's put it on the bottom, and we'll put our stack block on top of that. And now all we have to do is bring the diamond down and touch that, touch the tool that came with it, and then lock our dovetail. And this thing is stiff as heck. Did I tighten that again? No, I didn't. All right, let's see if we can get that to move again. There it goes. Okay, we have contact. And I'm going to tighten that set screw up on that dovetail. And now we have a 1/2 inch radius or a 1 inch diameter. Let me lift this up off of here and get it out of the way. Okay. So now we're set to cut, but we still need to set our angles and such on this tool. But see, now we're sweeping. If I hold my Allen wrench in here like this, see, now I'm sweeping around and creating that radius. All right, so that's how you create a radius with a radius and tangent dresser. Okay, and here's the setup. Got a block stack to my corrected angle. We're going to go ahead and dress at the corrected angle, so it's self-correcting. I've got the tip of the diamond right at the wheel center line. And to remind you, I do have it's set for a 1 inch diameter, 1/2 inch radius. And I have hard stop set in at 0 and 90 degrees. I'm going to go ahead and release here. And I'll rotate. Oh, I'm going to hit the wheel. Hang on, let me back it up a little more. Okay, so now I've got a hard stop set at 0 and 90. Those are the hard stops in this pin right here, and then the stops are right there. You just pull this pin out to ignore the stops or put it in to use them. Okay, so that's going to dress basically the back side of the wheel. It's a 1/2 inch wheel. We're getting a 1/2 inch radius, so we're basically using the entire wheel to make the dress. All right, I'll get the GoPro set up so you can see me carving up this. Okay, so we got to load the vise here, and we're probably going to grind this on its side. We're running out of space over there, so we'll probably just Present that tool just barely up like that. We'll let it square itself to the bed of the vise. It's catching both sides nicely. And we'll just start bringing this down like this. And making sure we can feel it hitting both sides of the bed of the vise. And now we know we're square, but we're going to drop it in on its side like that. Just like that. Okay, so we're going to be, it's going to be on the sign plate, so it's going to be lifted up, and it's going to be clocked at a 15-degree angle like this. And then we're going to grind. All right, let's go see if this stunt works. Okay, I think I got you a good angle here. We're radius ground. We got our plate tipped up to the corrected angle, which was 15 and change, and we got the vise clocked over at 15 degrees. So we're going to be cutting into this guy here. Let me get a rough grind on it and see how the pattern's forming. And I might switch the camera over a little bit so you get a better view of it. But and I'll probably fast forward through a little bit of this. So let's make them holler. Okay, here we go. Okay, I was going to bring you over and let you look at what I was looking at. So there's your tool form before we take it out of the grinder. Let's take it over on the bench and check it top down, make sure we got the right radius. Okay, and we're back over on the surface plate, and we've got our tool. Let's take a look at the way that profile turned out. I haven't ground the second one yet. I wanted to check this one first. And I got a piece of round, 1 inch round. And these are pretty easy to check. You're just going to put this up against that because this gets presented flat. This is flat. It's a lathe cut on the end, so both sides are lathe cut. So it's, and this measures actually just a shade over 1 inch. It's like 101 or something, so it's like a thousandth over. But you can see the fit there. And I had some wheel degrading problems with the pink wheel, and I actually had to go back. I actually switched over to an aluminum oxide, straight aluminum oxide, no fancy rubies or diamonds or emeralds or anything like that. But so I think with the wheel degradation gone, we've made a really good fit. Last thing we need to do is check this on the lathe, and I'm going to do that before I grind this. I'm going to stick it on the lathe and cut a piece of bar with it. You know, maybe we'll even cut this piece and see how it does. You know, the grinder's already set up. All I gotta do is throw it back in, and you know, if I kill the tool, all I gotta do is regrind that. So 15 degrees was our choice. That's a good all-around back angle. And let's go try it. Okay, I couldn't find any aluminum bar, but I found a piece of 1 inch 1018. So let's leave it on high speed. Give it a little bit RPM here. And I'm going to tighten my carriage up just a tad. This thing has the capability of being an absolute chatter monster. So we'll just kind of lube it up and plunge in 2 different directions and see how it goes. So far so good. So you haven't gotten to the meat of the sandwich yet. It'll cut a form on 1018. It'll cut a form on aluminum, no problem. Yeah, our form's starting to get big. This is where she's going to have the capability of getting chattery on you. There she goes. Yeah, as soon as you start getting a full size on your pattern, that's when they start making noise. You know, there's room for improvement on the grind. It's leaving some lines in it. But I might let Mr. Gopher do some hand honing on that. Okay, there's full form right there. That's not too bad. Not terribly hot. The tool held up. We got there's a little bit of a built-up edge. Not too bad. Nothing a diamond stone won't knock off. So yeah, pretty low RPM. We're running about 550 on that. So maybe if you slowed it down a little bit, it might help. But okay, nice radius tool. Okay, and we're back from the grinder a second time, and I've done this two different ways. Both sides are ground, and I'll flip it over and I'll show you the reliefs there on the back. There's the relief on that one, and the relief on that one. Now the only thing I did different, my adjusted angle is 15.27 degrees. On this one, I had the sign plate tilted when I dressed the wheel, and on this one I had the sign plate flat when I dressed the wheel, and then I elevated the plate and made the grind. So let's find out if there's a difference, and I already know the outcome, but this is kind of interesting. And I'm going to try to line it up on the camera for you guys. Everything's flat here, and I'm going to run it into here with a piece of white paper behind it, so you can see. Hopefully that'll let you see the results, and I think you're kind of looking top down now. Maybe over here. How would that be? That's tilted. And then now we're going to flip it over to, here's flat. So I can still see some daylight in the center. It's touching on the outer extremes here. And when you flip, it's pretty much the same result. I'm not seeing really any difference. And I'm hoping I've got a good camera angle for you guys so you can see what's going on there. And it's pretty much the same thing here. I would say the tilted result is a little better, but probably not even measurable. But in any case, I'm going to go back and touch up the tilted side and make them both match. I'm going to bring them both the same. I kind of like the way the flat wheel shape was. I'm kind of liking that result right there. So I think I'm going to take it down to flat and give this tilted side just a little touch up. and then this tool is out of here. I sat there and thought about it what seemed like forever, and couldn't come up with a reason why I should tilt it to dress the wheel or leave it flat to dress the wheel. Maybe some of you math whizzes can shed some light on that. All right. Okay, so there you have it. Our tool is complete. That's it there. And there's the grind and the reliefs in the back. And here's our result. I don't know, maybe I can line it up so you guys can see down there. The amount of daylight coming through there. And so we get the right angle there. Both grinds had ended up touching at the ends, and probably less than 1,000, just enough to see some daylight through that center there, one lined up square. As soon as you roll it back like this, it starts to contact in the center, and then you've got light in the back. So when rolling it back onto that rear relief, it gets tight in the middle and loose on the ends. So the math that I came up with, I came out with a corrected number one angle of 15.27 degrees, and that's what I based everything on. Any of you math whizzes out there that pull out your slide rules and tell me what I'm doing wrong. And then I debated on whether to dress the wheel flat, use the radius dresser with the sign plate flat, or do I elevate that and dress it to correct itself. I had better results with the dressing the wheel with the dresser flat, elevate the plate, make my grind. So the results were better like that. So this was all a pretty good experiment and a pretty good learning experience. We got to see it on the lathe, how it performed. I think it performed well. I just got some 1018. I know it'll shred aluminum, no problem. So Ryan, you got this coming to you now. That's going out in tomorrow's shipment. All right, guys. Thanks for watching, and leave a comment down below. All you math whizzes out there, get your scientific calculators out and let's have some feedback on these tangent angles when it involves a radius, because this is a real mind bender. My brain itches right now. I can't think about it anymore. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Talk to you.